Affairs report. This afternoon, we're having a program with Madam Beatrice Asante, former chairperson for North London, NDC North London. And now, Madam Beatrice is going for Vice Chairwoman hopeful for UK and Ireland chapter for NDC.
Yes, I am. Thank you, Kofi.
How are you?
I'm all right,
This afternoon has been going very fast.
I know, it has been, yes.
How was it coming in? We always ask
It was traffic. There was traffic, but hopefully today I made it in time. And the weather's a bit cold, but yes.
The weather is
I'm
cold.
okay, yes, it is, yes.
So, if one have to ask you, why did you decide to join the NDC? You grew up in the UK here,
Yes.
but you are passionate about NDC. What made you go to
NDC?
Yes.
Okay, the reason why I joined NDC was because it was a friend that took me to NDC. And first I was supporting them, I wasn't even part of it. And then I went to a conference that JDM held. That was during the time that...
In this country?
In this country, yeah. He came here and he talked about trying to change Ghana with infrastructure, all the ideas he had. And I was really impressed because infrastructure is what actually helps the country grow. And the ideology and everything that he had about with schools, with the health, building hospitals, I think that was one of the things that actually changed, that I saw that there was a leader that had the future in place for Ghanaian people. So then I think right after, that's when I joined the NDC and I decided to be part of it. So but then what I had joined, that was in 2012, what I joined was something called the JDM Club. That was sort of like a club that was supporting Mahama during the time that he was going for his elections. So that was how I ended up going in there and supporting them. And I realized that with me, if it's about progress, I'm in for it.
So you've been in NDC for how long?
About 10 years now.
It's about 10 years.
Yes.
That's a very long journey.
Yes, it is.
And you was the former chairperson.
Yes, of North London.
Of North London. Now, then you decided, that you resigned from that position. What made you resign from that position to go for this position? Okay.
When I got into North London, initially when I got into North London, I was the woman organizer because then we had, it was one chapter. It was one chapter, so they decided to break it into the North and South. So then I went into the North as a woman organizer. Then North London started having challenges, whereby like the previous chairman, things were going wrong. So for almost a year and a half, the branch was not functioning. So Ghana spoke to us previously, saying that if we didn't get the branch moving, they were going to dissolve the branch.
Wow.
So then some executives and I had Ibrahim and Farrakhan and we decided to write a petition, because every time we tried to have a meeting, it didn't go well. It's like the previous chairman there would cancel the place and the branch was dying. So sometimes people would phone me and ask me, oh, is your branch in a coma? And sometimes I say it's on life support. So down the line, I think there was a meeting whereby the vice president then, he's dead now, NDC came. And we had written a petition to the chapter, then Kofi Kwachi was the chairman. And we said, if you don't let this branch survive, it's not going to work out for us. And then I was then nominated to go into the chairmanship as a substantive. So I was there for 2 years, whereby I started building it with my executives. Then we still didn't have executives, unfortunately. So we started building it bit by bit. And then they brought a directive that we had to do an election, because normally branches then didn't have elections. So my first election was in 2018.
Okay.
And then I stood for the election and I won. So now I've been a chairman for 6 years, and you're asking me why I moved. I feel that for progress, you always have to let somebody take the mantle. Because the problem that sometimes I feel that we have in Ghana is people don't want to step down. It's like when they're comfortable in a place, they don't want somebody to take over. And that is not how, if we want the party in this country to grow, we can't do that. Because when you've got a vision, once you fulfill that vision, mine was to stabilize the branch, mine was to uplift the branch, mine was to empower women, mine was to make sure that people that were not treated fairly were treated fairly, and to make sure that we rebuilt a branch, but not for it to collapse. And so long as I've done that, now I can move on to the chapter whereby my resources in terms of my knowledge, in terms of my skill set, in terms of women moving on to positions that are not like women oriented. So when I say that, it's not like demeaning, but if you're looking at position, they also say woman organizer. I was the first chairwoman in NDC.
How did that feel?
Oh, I know.
Let's look at the percentage of women in North London and also the chapter wise.
Yes.
And look at the percentage of men.
Yes.
How did you feel? I mean,
actually,
the vast difference.
Stood against a man that was really prominent. Yes, he was a pharmacist. It was brilliant, and I won, and that was very, very empowering. So it showed that NDC, what we do is when we say we are in for women, we truly are in for women because they support the women. You see, because sometimes people forget that politics is a man's game. So for me to get that opportunity,
why are you
it was
saying that? Why do you feel that politics is a man's game? Are
because when you look, I'm generalizing, because when you look at the percentage of men in politics, for a woman to reach any pinnacle, you have to fight your way through. And for me, as a woman, to be a chairperson, I didn't sort of like go into it in an easy angle. I literally had to fight to build up everything to now.
Do you feel equal opportunities?
I think it's not so much as the equal opportunities, but it's whether you are strong enough.
Do the men respect the women and ask? Because most, I would say, I don't want to generalize, but looking at our culture and our values, man is the head of the family.
Yes.
And even if you look at the Muslim culture, the men, they stand in front in the mosque and the women stand at the back.
Yes.
In the churches, they have managed to mix everyone in everywhere, where women can sit anywhere, men can sit anywhere. But that has always been there. That values has always been there, that the man as the head of the family.
Yes.
And now you being a woman, how did you?
I think I felt privileged in a sense that most of the people that were actually supporting me were men. Most of the people that supported me to be the chairperson were men. Okay. And when you look at our ex-president, he got a woman flag bearer, which shows that they are pushing in women to positions of prominence. So with me, I did feel privileged to be, and I did get the support from the men as well. And I continue to get the support from the men and the women as well. Because now, when they say girl power, we need to support, because if you look at our homes, women are the ones that prop up the homes. They understand, even though the man is in front. But I was given the opportunity as a woman to be in the front line. So I felt privileged. Yes, I did.
Okay, that's good. So what were some of your challenges for the upcoming or what do you call it? David? What's David's full name again?
David is Mr. David Kwao.
Mr. David Kwao.
Yes.
Yes. What are some of the challenges you experience?
Oh, some of the it's a bit like
we can learn for the future. Yes.
With me, I think it was trying to get the right people in the right positions. Because when North London started, it was more to do with people not wanting positions till election came, and then they pushed themselves into a position. And I think during my period, directives came that you couldn't go straight as a member to be an executive to the chapter. So you had to start in a branch. So that was when people started pushing themselves into the branches. But I think some of the challenges is to make sure that people that they come on board are willing to actually sacrifice to do the job. Because with Mr. Kwao, when he first joined the party, it was about the party. He was our first EC. He was the first person that put himself out. Put himself out to say that, oh, I'm going to work for the party. It wasn't about a position. He raised monies. So as a leader, I was looking that if I was going to leave the branch, who would be the person that I would look up to and say that with all the hard work that's been done by myself and my executives to lead, because in 2024, we don't have room to make mistakes. We do not have room to make mistakes. And when the branches are solid, we use that to support Ghana. But when the branches are falling apart or things are not being done, where in my case, some of the time it was difficult to actually concentrate to see the way forward. But now, the challenges that with me, I know that I had would be more of getting discerning people working hard and making sure that it's all about the party, not people's personal interest.
That's very good. So now your vision, because now you're going for position of
The
vice
Yes.
for the chapter.
Yes.
Okay, I just received a text saying that what is chapter? You know, they want to you if you can explain a bit about what chapter is and why you your vision for the chapter.
Okay. The chapter in this country, the chapter seriously is not in the constitution, but the chapter is the level up. You know, like when you've got members of parliament, you've got people in the council, you see, you got people in boroughs. I'm moving up to the next level, which is us being in diaspora, being the overseer of the branches, and making sure that it's kind of, in a way, it's a bit like when we say the national, it's making sure that anything that the branches need, we are there to support them and make sure that they stabilize, especially when they're having challenges. You see, so the chapter is more of the umbrella that holds everything together, the foundation of the of like supporting the parts, the branches. Yes.
Okay, so your vision.
Okay.
What are you bringing in? What skills you bringing in, and then your vision?
Okay, my skills that I'm bringing in is the knowledge of the challenges that the branches have, the challenges that women have, the challenges that I have been able to overcome to support the party in terms of supporting different departments like the youth, the women's wing, giving advice, being part of the communications team, especially when there's nobody there. I'm actually there anytime I'm called. I'm there to support the party and represent the party. That skill set is always voicing up for the party. That is my skill set, because without that, how do you show the passion for a party when anytime you are called, you're busy? I'm always there, regardless of what the issues are. My members, my executives, I've been able to work as a team. I am somebody that I do not, it's like everything is done by voting. Everybody has a voice. I do not put myself in a position of knowing it all, because sometimes when you feel you know it all, it gives you that you become a dictator. You see, and as working as part of a team, I promise you that sometimes when you think your idea is better, the other person, your other executive will bring an idea that supersedes yours. And then you have to go with that, which is brilliant. You see, and when we talk about democracy, it's giving everybody one voice and giving everybody a chance to be heard. And that is some of my skill sets. I'm able to work under challenging avenues, which I promise you, in Ghana politics, I have learned for the past almost about 8 to 9 months. I've had challenges in the past, but I think in the last couple of months, it has shown me the strength and it shown me the love that I have for the party. Yes.
Yes. So your vision?
My vision is to make sure that this party is able to raise so much finances and bring in the youth. And sometimes when I say the youth, Ghana, when they talk about the youth, sometimes is people in 50s, people in 40s saying that they're youth. I feel that we are doing our party and the young people born here disservice. They understand me. We don't give them the opportunity to embrace their country and understand what the country has to offer. We don't give them the skill set in terms of not knowing that whatever I have, I can actually give it to my country. And sometimes I go on it a bit like a McDonald's, I did marketing, whereby if you see McDonald's, they actually market to parents, and they know parents will have kids. Because once you've got kids, your kids now will grow up and have kids. They understand me? And then that is like how they do their marketing. What I believe is to support like the youth wing, the women's wing as well, to be able to bring the young people into the chapter, being able to look at what avenues Ghana needs in terms of trying to contact business people to create jobs, being able to support our women in the party, because sometimes women, we've got challenges. Do you understand me? And even though it's a women's wing thing, sometimes being able to collaborate with the women's wing, being able to communicate how we can support our people in this country, because as much as we're supporting Ghana, sometimes we forget we've got people here, and people join NDC as a family. My vision is to make sure that all that is encompassed, that is not left behind, that we're looking at just Ghana and we forget the people here. You see, my vision is to make sure that the empowerment of women is so astronomical. You see, that men see the value. We don't just look at it in terms of, oh, the woman has got a position just because of the way she looks, but because of how she's worked to get there. And these are some of my visions. I've got more, but I'm not going to reveal all that out because I've got competitors. Well, yes.
But your competitors, once you say it, they cannot use it for themselves.
You'd be surprised. Yes.
They will use it?
Oh, you have no idea.
So how do you see the future of UK NDC? I mean, MPP is here, NDC, and then we also have Progressive People Party.
Yes.
We've not heard much about CPP in the UK, but for these three parties, you know, we always see them here, we do programs together. What do you see as a future for NDC UK?
Okay. Me, what I say for the future for NDC UK is them being able, for us as a party, being able to put structures in place that would benefit Ghana. In terms of our knowledge, our skill set, the way, because now everybody sees what's going on in Ghana. When you look at our finances, you are talking about the food. Do you understand? We're talking about increases of food. And you know, sometimes they turn around and they say it's all over the world. The difference between all over the world is this country, when food goes up and prices go up, they support people that they don't work. Ghana, we don't have that advantage. We don't have that advantage whereby when the money comes into the country, it goes to people that they actually need it, you see. And I feel those were the avenues. People have to understand that as much as the other party is trying to, as much as the other party is trying to convince people that it's all over the world, unfortunately, as the previous Milton Keynes chairman said, we have got strategies and things in place whereby once we structure ourselves here, we'll be able to give our skill set to Ghana, which would help this country stabilize. Because when you're here and you've lived here for a long time, you can go back to Ghana and say that, okay, this is what I learned or this is what I gathered. So I'm going to use that to help Ghana. And so that's a way of resource. It's a human resource, yes. Yes, so that is.
So if you have to give some analysis about the state of how things are going in Ghana, you know, the bread prices increasing, the cost of living crisis, you know, what would be your, in a nutshell, analysis of a small analysis that you give before we go? Okay,
so my small analysis would be that I'm really running out of money because my niece and my family keep phoning me for money. So it shows that previously, now they can't even get a job. You see, they finished studying and they can't even get a job. One of my nieces is selling things, and
she's a graduate.
No, she's not a graduate. I think she's finished. I don't think it's a graduate, but but she studied nonetheless.
Okay.
And she decided that I couldn't get a job, so she got supported, and then she managed to sell things, and people are not buying stuff now. Every time you tell her to get something for you, we're talking about the prices, that you buy something today and the prices go up. No, she says you buy something now, you ask for a price, like rice is 10 Ghana, you go back in an hour and it's 15 Ghana. So the inflation, the prices are going astronomically, you see. And because of that, the economy, as the previous chairman said, is going, you see, is making things so untenable for people, which means that people are not able to survive. People are demanding more on family members all across board, you see, which is impacting on us, because here too the prices have gone up in everything, food, petrol, but we are able to sustain ourselves because of how this country has been structured. Do you understand? In Ghana, they don't have that fallback.
The benefit system is helping most people.
Yes, benefit system in this country is helping people, but Ghana, that benefit system is not helping people. And sometimes when you talk to people and they turn around and say, oh, COVID. You see, I don't mean to lighten the COVID in Ghana, but there was so many billions that came into Ghana that could have gone into health, could have gone into education, could have gone into cleaning up the country in terms of the gutters, environmentally, and all that didn't go. Now we are in so much deficit. Do you understand me? And now jobs are not being created. So how do people survive? And there's no fallback, like benefits for people to fall back on. So at the end of the day, it's like this government, you see, I would say that be a Ghanaian person. Me, it's not about who I support. It is about doing what is right. Do you understand me? And if you've got ministers that they're driving V8s and they're driving all these cars and £200,000 cars, people $300,000 V8s. It's so sad. Do you understand me? The reason why I say it's so sad is because you've got children that they're hungry.
They said they need the car for because the roads are not good. So what they should think of is what?
The people, sure, because no, but these are cars that they bought for them.
They do the roads.
No, you don't understand. Yes, but you don't understand. But these are cars that you don't need to get £200,000 car to drive on the road.
No minister in this country do that.
No, even Boris was on a bicycle. Most of them take the underground. How come we don't do a system whereby you're a civil servant? Because how come a minister, yes, would be getting free petrol, would be getting free help, clothing allowance, and then the teacher is not paid? When I went to Ghana recently, some of the teachers have not been paid for months on end. And then how do you expect them to teach your child? It's a free education. They don't even get good food to eat. You see, I spoke to one of like my tenants, and she's telling me that when they call you for PTA meetings, it's about you telling you that the tank is broken. It's not about you, them even assessing your kids' education.
When we were students, on these Gary and beans, we used to enjoy it,
No, but they don't even get that. They don't even get that, because she's saying that when she goes, they're not even talking about PTA. It's about you, the parent, being told about your kids' education. She says now it's costing them more money for this free education, that they would have preferred that you gave us sort of like, say that your school fees is this amount, and then we don't have to do what they're doing. So it's kind of like now everything that the party now in power is doing now, it's not helping the people. But the thing in Ghana is everybody is scared to say something, because if you're in a job and you're not getting paid, you can't quit.
So your message,
yes,
for NDC UK,
yes,
and all the chapters,
yes,
today,
yes,
if you can kind of give us the last word.
Okay.
For that.
So as me, if you vote for me as a vice, you guys have known what I've done. It's for us to strengthen ourselves. Is to make sure that everything in this current world that we live in is to support this country, stabilize, so that Ghana, we can go and support them. And this is by looking at our skill set. This is by supporting our youth. This is about bringing more ideas that is sustainable for the party here, so that we can upload it to Ghana. Because as a woman, there are loads of insights that we see. And you know that they said behind every strong man is a woman. And so it shows that the woman is the strong one, but the men don't want to admit that. But with me, all I know is in this diaspora, what we need to do is we, the women, we need to support each other, to support the party. And the party needs this for 2020 because 2024, because if we don't do that, I promise you that I don't know what the people in Ghana are going to do, because without our views and our support, our hope is what we give to them, and our hope is our deeds. So with me, voting for me as a vice would be the best choice because I've got the skill set, I've got the resilience, and I am there to support anybody, and anybody that knows me knows that what I say is what I do. I do not just give, I'm not a lip service person, I'm a doer. So thank you for listening to me, and I hope that come November 3rd, December 3rd, I do apologize, as I'm going on holiday, so my brain is holiday. So in December 3rd, you vote for me, and what I've done in North London, I will triple it when I come to the chapter. Have a nice weekend, and love you guys. Hey, Yezu!
Thank you, Madam Beatrice Asante, former chairperson for NDC North London, and now aspirant for NDC chapter UK and Ireland. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
We will thank you all our viewers, producer Joe Bedu and Sister Dansoa. Have a good weekend and a good evening. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Say I saw them one. And can make out to say Bonsema Jesus.
Bonsema Jesus.
Bro,
And
yes,
Omega Television is the home of many Ghanaians in the diaspora, especially in the UK.
Now, some one can hear. Say, Ubedru Ghana, your TV
UK,
your TV stations, your BBC One. No, a war a SW, and I used to Ghana for your BBC,
Omega Live. We said the name you do na BBC CEO Joe say now yeah yen is saying because almost every time you were Ghana, me say every top politician remember UK no omoba be interview I am going how
Oba UK no am Omega Live not just one UK.
No, it's obvious.
I want am dust ho ba bia naja.
Every top politician be our UK have mahuno platform we so and it means
and
really good.
So say yenya Ghana ni a na wode ne ho asi wo so obema TV adwuma atumi akọ nanim sabre ye bia TV station ye boa se ankora ndwuma bi a wo ye wo UK ha wo enterprise wo money transfer wo bia hwan wo filling station ha na obi a wo pese ye bo ho dawro na Ghana wo ye event wo ware ana se wo ja ware akra so a na oba Omega Live
divorce party
ye betumi abo ho dawro na fesu Ghana for so ate se obentin wo ja ware sabre why a single wo da ho bi betumi
I know, right?
Omega ye born homodin na ye fast the PSC Ghana for mama ye support wo ye patronize Omega TV said the Omega TV no betumi atoto more machines afresh next year then the be empire be na Omega so nkwana ni bra ye kan sa